In this video, we are going to learn how to solve by finding square roots. Now, we're going to solve each equation by finding square roots. So first, we must rewrite our equation in this form, ax squared equals c, meaning we're going to get the x squared term by itself. So we're going to subtract 10 from each side, give me 4. X squared is equal to 36. Next, we'll isolate the x squared. So we'll divide each side by 4. Give me x squared is equal to 9. And then we will find square roots, meaning I'll take the square root of each side of my equation. So on my left here, the square root of x squared, by definition, is the absolute value of x. And on the right, the square root of 9 simplifies to 3. So we see here, since we have the absolute value of x is equal to 3, our two solutions will be x is equal to 3 and x is equal to negative 3. Sometimes you'll see it written as x is equal to plus or minus 3. But I always find it's good practice to write them as two separate solutions so you can see it that way. So let's try this with another example. So again, we have 3x squared minus 5 equals 25. So first we'll add 5 to each side of the equation. Give me 3x squared is equal to 30. I'll divide each side by 3. Give me x squared is equal to 10. And then I'll find my square roots by taking the square root of each side. Give me absolute value of x is equal to square root of 10. Which my two solutions, because I have the absolute value of x, will be x is equal to positive square root of 10 and x is equal to negative square root of 10. Now, what happens when we have multiple x squared terms on both sides of the equation? So now I should bring all of my x squared terms together on one side. So meaning I will subtract 2x squared from both sides, giving me 3x squared minus 10 is equal to 26. Then I'll add 10, so I'll have 3x squared is equal to 36. I'll divide by 3, so x squared is equal to 12. And then I will find my square roots. So the square root of x squared is equal to the square root of 12. So I'll have the absolute value of x is equal to square root of 12, which can be simplified when I think about it, because 12 has the factors 4 and 3. So I can rewrite that as 4 times 3, so the square root of 4 times the square root of 3, which would be 2 square roots of 3. So I can simplify that radical to 2 square roots of 3, and my final solution will be x is equal to positive 2 square roots of 3, and x is equal to negative 2 square roots of 3. And if you're forgetting why I am separating these solutions into positive and minus because of the absolute value, then definitely go back and rewatch the video on solving absolute value equations. Now last up we have 9x squared is equal to 25. So far, every time we've isolated x squared, which was one step away here, we've always ended up with a whole number. But what happens when you divide by that number? It doesn't simplify. So I still have 25 over 9. Well, I can still go ahead and find square roots. I also have the fraction underneath the radical. So I'll end up with the absolute value of x is equal to this 25 divided by 9 is technically a product of like 25 times 1/9. So I can split up that radical to be square root of 25 over the square root of 9. Which will give me 5 over 3. And now my two solutions, when I split up my absolute value, will be x is equal to positive 5/3 and x is equal to negative 5/3. And that is how you solve by finding square roots.